Greetings and welcome, my friends. This is Blackout, the mono evil deck featuring discard and more discard. The cards that came out with Bloomburrow has taken these decks to the next level, and we're getting in on the action. With the cards that are available, the decks practically build themselves. With our version, not only are we mad bombers with card tossing, but we have included theft as well. A lot of it is rather standard stuff you'll see in other decks, but it's often the case we all agree certain cards are the best at what they do. Let's get to it. We've got 4 copies of Cut Down. When we're sniping cards out of the opponent's hand, the likely survivors are small men, and this will snipe them off the board for a single black mana. Enemy men are our biggest threats, so keeping the board clear is a key element towards achieving our goals. Hopeless Nightmare is a discard enchantment. We'll play it early and let the opponent choose and discard. What's great is it hits the opponent for 2 damage, and we can sacrifice it for 3 mana and get a scry too. The scry is useful to help us keep the pressure rolling. Ruthless Negotiation is one of the new cards from Bloomburrow that takes discard up a notch. For 1 mana, the opponent chooses a card in their hand, and they exile it. Then later, for 5 mana, we can play it from our grave, and they lose yet another card, and we draw 1. It's card advantage built into a single card. Tinybones Joins Up is a discard enchantment much like the Nightmare, but this time around, it also mills the opponent when we play legendary men. We only have tiny bones, but that doesn't mean we might not find legendary men that the opponent has tossed in their grave. And here's Tinybones, the Pickpocket. He'll pick out the juiciest bits from their grave that they've either tossed or we sniped. His Death Touch ability gives us the option to trade with far bigger men if we need to. It's kind of like he's a removal as well. Bandit's talent is an absolute house in card-tossing decks. It forces the opponent to toss a card when we play it out, and for 1 mana we can level it up. At level 2, if they have 1 or fewer cards, the enchantment will make them lose 2 life. It becomes a painful process when we have multiples of these in play. At level 3, we get an additional draw if they have 1 or fewer cards in hand. For once, we're playing the Bat. It's not quite discard, but it can rob the opponent of a critical card. Sure, they can snipe the Bat, but if they do so, that's removal that didn't get used on Tinybones or Lily. Feed the Cycle is great removal. What sets it apart is that it hits enemy men or planeswalkers. There's enough low-cost walkers that we need to be able to hit them if they show up, and this will get the job done. Pilfer is additional discard. This one will let us choose the card the opponent will toss. We can use it to snipe enemy men we don't want to see land on board, or any spell that would make things more difficult for us. Lily is here as well. She is great at forcing the opponent to toss cards. Sure, we have to discard as well, but we're prepared to throw a card out or 2. She is also additional removal, and her ultimate will cripple the opponent. The arena is card draw to help us get cards we need or find a removal. It does hit us for 1 every time it gets us another card, but the Bat has lifelink and can help offset the cost of drawing cards. For lands, we have 22 swamps. No messing about with tap lands, we are all basics. We cut the land count down as we top out at 3 mana. We can be effective with only 2 lands, which is what the shuffler usually gives us anyways. Playing the deck is easy. Fire off discard, and removals when they get men down. There is no mid or late game. We're in early game mode the entire time. Make them toss their salad, then make them eat it. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This is B4 Street. I've never been down that road, but let's see if it's smooth or clunky. We kick things off with a 3-lander. All our usual suspects are here, including our top end. A 3-mana top end makes the shuffler seethe with anger. Keep your pants on. Right out the gate, they'll lose a card. It's like they took a mull. The shuffler hates you, bro. They don't bother with 1-drops. That's a painful way to play against us. Let's plop down this bandit's talent and snipe another card. Their pants can't handle it, they blow up in their shorts. GG's, bro. This is Moon. His keyboard failed there at the end. Maybe he meant moon thigh? He's got moon thighs? The shuffler tries to stiff us with a 2-lander, But the joke's on them, most of our deck is 2 mana or less. Suck it down, Shuffler. Also, we like this. Keep. Let's throw down the Tinybones Joins Up. Look at their hand, it's so huge they can afford to throw something out. They play out a Might Caller, he's on the phone. I don't like the looks of that. They tossed a bounce spell last time out. That might have been a critical error. And for us, not sniping their Might Caller with Cut Down could be our critical error. But we've got other removals in hand already. We got this, right? The Might Caller phoned in friends, and now we know we should have sniped him for 1 mana when we had the chance. We have 2 men we need to take care of now. This train could end up derailed if we're not careful. Let's deal with the Elder. Bouncing men for free is not something we want to see happen. With the 2 mana we have left, we can drop our bat and take another card out of their hand. They tossed a bounce card earlier. Had they kept it, that could have frogged us pretty good. Yeah, we're not blocking a 5/5. We can take the hit. We've got removal just waiting to be fired off. All right, Frogman, it's time for you to go. He has a phone with too many numbers on speed dial. Sorry, but you didn't pay your phone bill. We're cutting you off. The Elder is left, but he doesn't have trample, and Tinybones is ready to jump in his way. Have we seriously not missed a land drop this game? Even with 22 lands, you can still get a ton of land draws. They can block, but we'll gain a life anyways, and it's not like we're blocking with the bat. They get a card draw engine that could see them pulling away from Bandit talent range. Luckily, we have a 1/1 Death Touch guy. At least it isn't another land. Unfortunately, they'll be able to keep drawing cards with the Elder and Prophet duo. All the damage we hit them with will be from the bat. And then I go and fumble it so hard by hitting attack all. We were meant to hold Tinybones on defense while the bat got in through the air. Botch job complete. Let's get out of here and try not to fumble it next time. GG's. This is War Symbol Box. Check the first box if you don't have pants. Check the second box if you wear Crocs. This time we're prepared for Shuffler specials. Keep your pants on, no lie, keep them on, boys. Right out the gate, let's cut their hand down to a more manageable size. Let's see what they threw out. Usually people toss cards that can't be played anytime soon, but this guy tossed out a playable. That's a win for us. Tap lands are always great to see. No plays, and we can get to cutting cards without fear of what they played out. Negotiation and talent is such a brutal combo. There's more card tossing coming too, bro. Tighten that belt so the pants don't come off. They threw out a Delny. What crazy plan do they have cooked up? Another turn without plays. Opponent is rocking. This will be another talent turn. We'll keep a mana up in case they drop any men. From the looks of it, their aim is to get hits in with men. Yeah, we saw that coming. As soon as it shows up, it's gone. Get the frog out of here, bro. That was soul-crushing. That's another pair of pants blown up. GG's. This is Blarg. That sounds like a noise you'd make when you throw up. This hand is proof the shuffler is trying very hard to scrooge us. We get a 3-lander with 2 cards that make up our top end. Luckily, our top end can unscrooge us easily. We're missing 1 drops, but that's fine. Keep. The matchmaker strikes again. It's a battle of the hand tossers. Place your bets, boys. They get the early lead due to them going first, but we have an ace up our sleeve. They get to pick what we toss this time out. As long as they don't make us toss the arena, we're fine. They took the bat. Surely Pilfer would have been a better target? Or the arena. Let's hit them where it hurts. Their hand. That's a pretty nice hand. The binding negotiation could go, but so could the confiscation. Gix could also be a nightmare if he makes it on board. The only card we aren't concerned about is the cover-up. Let's take out the negotiation. We can't lose the arena. That's going to be huge this game. They suffer from Shuffler Scrooge. That's too bad. For them. We have to play out the arena. We can't take the chance they'll draw another discard spell and make us toss it. Top end of our deck coming down. The confiscation can be brutal, but when you see it coming, you know what can be sacrificed. We'll keep the negotiation. The cut down won't hit Gix anyways. Jackpot, my friends. Those are crazy good draws. 3 cards, 3 mana, and they have 3 cards left in hand. Perfect. Let's hit them with the negotiation first. I fully expect them to lose the cover-up as it's going to be the least useful card. And we follow up with the nightmare. Welcome to hell, bro. This nightmare will never end. They are thinking hard about this one, if only they knew they were losing whichever card they keep. It's a sad tragedy, but it's true. It's true. And now for the easiest decision, lose that last card. Turns out, they really valued Lily, but she's gone and lost forever. Rip Lily. Their brain has turned to mush. It's a consequence of losing your hand in one vile turn. Come on, blarg something up, bro. We're gonna go ahead and add a stop on our upkeep. We can sacrifice the nightmare and get our scry before we draw. We'd like to get a Tinybones, that would be amazing. Or a Bandit's talent. They land a Mirex. Little might tokens will be able to end the game over a handful of turns. Let's cancel the stop and we'll just draw normally. We don't have any big men to block their tokens, but if we draw into a removal or a talent, then we'll want to be able to play it out right away. Not sure why they're slow rolling it. They have 2 options. Make a token or get a scry. The decision should be easy. Scry away, bro. They must be crying and the moisture is obscuring their vision. Why else would they be holding us up on our upkeep? Poor Blarg might be blarging into his toilet. Perfect draws yet again. We'll land our boy, Tinybones, and we have enough mana to scry. That turned out rather well. As for the opponent, the wheels have fallen off their game. They came in with discard, and we got them to toss their hand. It's been a rough outing, hasn't it, bro? Yes, they clearly say yes. Even if they make a might token, those can't block, so Tinybones will be free to get in there and start nabbing stuff from their grave. That will include the nightmare, if they sacrifice it. It's a rather tough spot to be in, for sure, but let's get the show on the road. They botch it and go for the token. Either way, they were going to have a hard time, but a token really doesn't get much done. They could have put a stop on their upkeep to sacrifice the nightmare and at least try for a good draw, but that's not on the menu. They are stuck with their top decking skills. Well, it's too late now. You were supposed to do that before you drew. Should have done that instead of making a token, to be honest. Drawing a land convinced them they should have gone for the scry. Oopsie poopsie. All right, time to turn your boy sideways. There's nothing else to do. With them at 0 cards in hand and a Gix in their grave, we can fetch him out with Tinybones, and we'll have a blocker plus even more card draw. The arena really was the difference in this game. Looking ahead, we'll also be able to get their Nightmare out of the grave. Another 2 damage plus more scry when we want it. It's all our advantage from here on. We get a land and a bat on top. We're definitely shipping the land. We could use the bat to block, or use it as an attacker to help get some life back that we've lost to the arena. But we have better cards. The Bandit's talent would be huge if we were to get 1 or 2. Let's send the bat on down. We got another bat anyways. That's fine, we'll play it out eventually. This turn has to go to getting their Gix with Tinybones. We can start amplifying our advantage that way. Did they not see that coming? GG's, bro. This is Tortilla. No, wait, it's Cirilla. Cirilla DeVille, right? This 2-lander is light on our hand sniping, but it's fine. Keep. Whoa, wait, did that really happen? This is classic. No, really, it's classic. Nobody's gonna believe me. So this has to be in the video. We get a 3-lander with plenty of hand disruption and a removal. We've gotten more 3-landers with a 22-land deck than when we're playing the full 24. Keep your pants on. It's not just what we say around here, it's what we do. We draw into a Nightmare right away. We can get the hand disruption going right away. They threw out a cut down. Our bat says thank you. All right, time to pick something out they really need. Both of those should go, but out of the 2, I think Jace has to be the pick. Drawing a card and doing 1 damage for 3 mana seems rather awful. Sure, they drew, but we're going to make them toss. Lily will start extracting more cards. We have cut down, which can go. They are clearly not going to be playing small men anyways.
You're telling me what? We all have things we'd rather forget.
We should play the bat first before we activate Lily. They have a land in hand, and the bat wouldn't work if they kept the land.
Don't overthink things.
Oh, imagine that. Conveniently, they drew another Jace. We'll have to beat his face.
Flesh will always lose.
We drew a land, so we'll hang on to it and toss it when we activate Lily. Sure, we can't attack, but we do have the Nightmare we can sacrifice and help us find more ammo. Bandit's talent will definitely come in handy. Let's ship the land. We're already at 4, and that's good for the rest of the game. This will be a botch job if they drew a counter. If we get the talent down, it's going to be super hard for them to get in this game. They drew removal and snipe our bat. That's all right. They'll be tossing their cover up to our talent, and we can level up the talent right away. All right, let's cripple their board. We'll make it a very difficult choice if they want to keep Jace.
Oh, typical. Tough choice.
We get our 5th land, no matter how hard we tried to avoid it. At least we can level up our talent. Now we'll hit them for 2 and get an extra draw when they have 1 card or less in hand. Their shark land is going to be a pain. Luckily, we have some draw to help us out and help get us removals. That's a double land draw. 22 lands in the deck means nothing to the shuffler. We'll want to hold up playing out Lily. She'll just get eaten by their shark land. What we can do is use the negotiation in our grave for an extra draw. We get a Tinybones Joins Up, we'll play it out. Sure, they don't have cards in hand, but if we get a Tinybones, it will mill them for 1. At least we aren't the only ones finding land bonanza. They mill away 3 lands and a bandit's talent. That's pretty much done us a favor. Thanks, bro. Well, you can't beat the shuffler. We've got more lands than we should. We can play out our top-end cards and then some. Two more lands went into the bin, but I'm sure the shuffler will find us some more. To my surprise, we actually got cards we can use. Let's snipe the card in their hand. Let's see what that was. A potential removal for Tinybones. But it's gone now. With Tinybones as a guard, we can play out Lily. She'll make sure the talent keeps hitting them, and we keep drawing.
Those who get in my way tend to regret it. You won't be outsmarting me.
They don't hesitate to bring their shark land. Well, that's why we got Tinybones. Get in there, little bone man. Another bandit's talent, and a removal. We've struck gold. Black gold. We want to keep the removal, so we'll pass on activating Lily this turn. When they go to activate their land, we'll slap it out of the sea. They essentially have this turn to kill us. Jace can't mill us out, even with all the mill action they've done this game. But they try anyways. You just knew they'd try. That's going to be GG's unless they can pull off a miracle. Eat it, Mill, like a pie. Bandit's talents are off the chain. Play it before it's banned. And that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.